Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Venti. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to learn about multiplication of algebraic expressions. So this is grade 10, term 1 work. And the first thing I want to do is define what is an algebraic expression. The definition says that it is a set of terms that are made up of numbers, variables, and operations. Now, the terms, remember a term is a group either of numbers or variables, or numbers and variables combined that are separated by plus or minus. So we've got terms that it can be one term or more than one term. That one term is an algebraic expression. The term must have it can have numbers, variables together, and there must be operations. So if I have something like 2x, this is a term because between the 2 and the x is multiplication. So we need to have numbers and variables, and we need to have an operation existing. If I have 2x plus 5y, these are two terms, but it is one algebraic expression. Okay, so we know what an algebraic expression is. Just as a little reminder, what you need to know is algebra has the alphabet in it. So the minute you see your x's and y's, you know you're doing algebra. Okay, different rules for multiplication. We are going to learn about the distributive. We are going to remember or review, because we've done this before, the distributive law, FOIL. Those two are old news. Then we are going to do binomial times trinomial. We are going to do the difference of squares, which we've done before. And we are going to do binomial squared, which is also done before. So in today's video, we're going to do exercise 4. This video in particular, we're only going to do A. And for A, we are going to look at the distributive law and FOIL. In our second video, we'll do B. And in our third video, we will do C. So what you can do right now is pause the video, try the exercises, and then when you are done, you can press play and we can do them together. Let's get started. All right. So question A, number 1 says, what is 3x, open bracket, x plus 3, close bracket? This is the distributive law. When I distribute something in class, I give 1 to everyone. So I'm going to distribute this term that's on the outside. I'm going to distribute it into the bracket so that everybody in the bracket has it. So this means I'm going to say 3x, which is on the outside, times x, which is on the inside. That's my first arrow. And I'm going to add it with this plus sign here. 3x, which is on the outside, times 3, which is the second inside the bracket. So 3 times 1 is 3, x times x is x squared, plus 3 times 3 is 9, x on its own. And that is my answer. I cannot add these two terms to each other because x squared and x are not the same thing. Let's look at question number 2. I have negative 3a, open bracket, 3a cubed minus 6a squared plus a, close bracket. Now I'm going to highlight for you the fact that we have got a minus sign here. Please be very careful of the minus sign. Distributive property. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take all of that, including the minus sign, and multiply it with the first item. So that becomes negative 3a, I'm going to put it in brackets, multiplied by 3a cubed. Sorry, that should be a 3a cubed. That's my first term. Now I'm going to do the second one, which is going to do that. I'm going to make it. I'm going to add, and I'm going to put it in brackets. Negative 3a, and my second bracket is going to be 6a squared. My third one is going to be that one, plus, hold on, careful. Okay, that's added. negative 3a times positive a. Now I can multiply it out. Minus times plus is minus. 3 times 3 is 9. A and a cubed is a to the power 4. If you remember the rules of exponents, is when you're multiplying with the same base, you add the exponents. So 3 plus 1 equals 4. Now let's do the next one. I'm not going to write this plus because I see a minus here. So I'm saying plus times minus is minus. Minus times plus is still minus. So minus 3 times 6 is 18. 2 plus 1 is 3. Plus and minus is minus. Minus and plus is minus. Minus 3a squared. And that is my answer to question 2. Let's do question 3. So these two that we've done here is what we call the distributive property. And what happens, or the distributive law. What happens is we give everyone, or we multiply everything in the bracket by the one on the outside. Now we are going to do FOIL. We have a binomial and we're multiplying it with a binomial. So let's attempt this. According to FOIL, we need to do first with first, outer with outer, inner with inner, and last with last. So let's start. First with first is going to be x times x, which is x squared. So I'm going to put that there as my first line. Then outer with outer is going to be outer with outer. That's going to be x times 2. Now outer is on the outside of both brackets, which gives me 2x. Let's do inner. So inner is going to be 5 times x. This is the inner side, so the two that are close to each other. 5 times x, which gives me 5x. And then we want last with last, which is going to be orange. Last in this bracket and last in that bracket. So 5 times 2, which is going to be 10. So if I take these two together and I add them, 2x plus 5x, that gives me plus 7x. And my last one is going to be plus 10. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the answer to this question. There we go. Let's do question 4. So again, we're going to do FOIL. So we're going to say first with first. X times x gives me x squared. I can write that down. Now I'm going to say O for outer. Outer times outer. Notice this negative sign. So it's going to be x times negative 2, which gives me negative 2x. Now I want to do inner, which is going to be, notice the negative sign, negative 5 times inner over here is x, which is going to be negative 5x. And then we're going to do last. And last is going to be that with the negative sign and that with the negative sign. So that's going to be negative 5 multiplied by negative 2. Negative times negative is positive. 5 times 2 is 10. So if I combine these two, minus 2x minus 5x is minus 7x plus 10. Okay, so these two are almost identical. The first, or question number 3, has got positive signs. Question number 4 has got negative signs. Question number 5 and 6 are again similar, with one bracket positive and one negative, and 6 is one negative and one positive. So let's do FOIL again. So according to FOIL, we're going to do first with first. This one times that one. X times x is x squared. Now we're going to do outer. So that is x times negative 2 gives me negative 2x. Notice I'm doing it without the FOIL word. Now I'm going to say inner. That's 5 times x, that's 5x. And then I'm going to do last, which is going to be 5 times negative 2, which is negative 10. Now, because I still need to group these two together, I am going to then rewrite my answer as being x squared. 5x minus 2x is 3x minus 10. And that's my answer. That is how we do FOIL without writing out that FOIL triangle, the rectangle, this one. So I've done all of that in my head, more or less. Okay, let's do question 6. First times first is x squared. Outer times outer is going to be positive 2x. Inner times inner, negative 5 times x is negative 5x. And then last times last, negative 5 times 2 is negative 10. Now I'm going to group them together. So these two are like terms. I'm going to add them. So that gives me x squared. 2x minus 5x is minus 3x minus 10. And that's my answer. So now you can look at these 4 questions, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you can see they are similar in the x's and the numbers, but the signs are different, and therefore the answers are slightly different. Okay, we've got 2 more to go in this question, in this video. Oh, no, 4 more to go. Okay, let's see. We're still doing FOIL, right? So here we're going to say first times first. So that's 3x times 2x. I just want to remind you, colors are your friends. I use colors because it's easy for you to see, and I encourage you to use colors because it's easy for you to see. So use your colors. 3 times 2 is 6. X and x is x squared. Now we're going to do outer 3x times 3. So that is positive. 3 times 3 is 9 and only 1x. Now we are going to do inner, which is negative 1 times 2x. So negative and positive is negative. 1 times 2 is 2x. And then our last is going to be negative 1 times 3. So that's going to be negative 3. Finally, we are going to add our like terms. So these are our like terms, the 2 in the middle. Not always, but most of the time. So I'm going to say 6x squared. 9 minus 2 is 7x minus 3. That's our answer. Question 8. First times first. 7 times 3 is 21m squared. Then we are going to do outer times outer. 7 times 4 is positive 28 mn. There's an m here, there's an n there. Then we are going to do inner. Notice the negative and that. So negative 2 times 3 is 6 mn. And then last we are going to have negative 2n times 4n. So that's going to be negative 8n squared. Good. Now we want to add like terms. So that's going to be 21m squared. mn are like terms. So 28 minus 6 is 22. mn minus 8n squared. That is our answer for this question. Our last 2 in this video. Okay, now it gets interesting because we got exponents, right? So let's go. First times first, that one times that one. Positive times positive is positive. 2 times 3 is 6. X, we add the exponents. 4 plus 4 is 8. Now we're going to do outer, that one and that one. Don't forget the minus sign. Plus times minus is minus. 2 times 2 is 4. x4, y2, x4, y2. That's it. Now we are going to do inner, which is this one. Don't forget the minus, and that one. Minus and plus is minus. 3 times 3 is 9. x4, y2. Remember, we write in alphabetical order, so x comes before y. And last with last is that one. Don't forget the minus. And that one, don't forget the minus. Minus and minus is plus. 3 times 2 is 6. y2, y2. So we add them up and it becomes y4. Next, we need to add like terms. So these are like terms, x4, y2. My final answer is 6x8. I just bring that down. Minus 4 minus 9, that is minus 13. x4, y2. And I bring down the 6y4. That is that one. Last question in this video. First times first is going to be plus times plus is plus. 4 times 2 is 8. x4 is going to be x. 4 plus 4 is 8. There we go. Next we want to do outer. So that one times that one. Don't forget the minus. Plus times minus is minus. 4 times 4 is 16. x4, y3. Now we are going to do inner, which is going to be this one times that one. So now we have plus times plus is plus. 3 times 2 is 6. x4, y5. x4, y5. And last with last is going to be that one times that one. Don't forget the minus. Plus and minus is minus. 3 times 4 is 12. y5, y3. 5 plus 3 is 8. Now, normally what I would do here is I would add like terms, right? But I want to check, do I have like terms? This is x4, y3. This is x4, y5. I do not have like terms, so this is my final answer. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I sincerely hope that this was helpful and that you understood. In our next video, we are going to do exercise 4, question B, which is going to be multiplying a binomial and a trinomial. Please click on the like and subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.